God blimey, it's Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Please, Tom, you're embarrassing me.
God blimey, mate.
Okay, so the first thing we need to get out of the way with Assassin's Creed Syndicate is that the name isn't quite as good as Assassin's Creed Victory. That's just, I mean, we've both got to agree on that before we can even start talking about this.
It's rubbish. What does it even mean? It sounds like we're going off to the casino.
Victory makes so much more sense because it's Victorian London. They're probably striving for some kind of victory. I mean, there's so many different angles. There's layers.
I'm pretty sure that no one in those times used the word syndicate.
Yeah.
They just punched each other.
I think so. And there was a lot of punching in the kind of gameplay demo we saw yesterday. What did you think of it? I like Victorian London from what I've seen.
It looked very, very inspired by two things. So Ripper Street, which
sure.
is...
I wonder if that's quite a British reference, isn't it? That's a TV show based on Victorian London and the hunt for Jack the Ripper, who will likely be in Syndicate.
Yeah, and the sort of police force who then went on to solve other crimes.
Sure.
And also the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes film. So lots of punching, lots of bowler hats, lots of moustaches.
Yeah.
Lots of grime.
I mean, I like it. One of the things I've got to say about this, I'm not a huge Assassin's Creed fan anymore.
But you like the hat?
I've fallen out of that. The hats are impressive, but also, like, Ubisoft they must have one of the best team of artists in the world. Like, these open worlds they've created are just spectacular. And I really want to explore that world that they showed off yesterday. I just don't really want to do it with all the Assassin's Creed stuff filling it up. So we saw the street gang encounter, and like you take out the leader, and that gang then belongs to you. I can envision that there being countless numbers of that same encounter throughout the entire map.
Yeah, there'll be a map dotted with those icons. So I like the gameplay that was shown. I just apart from a couple of the gadgets, so the Batman. That was stolen off of Batman.
Yeah, that's fine. Listen, if you're going to steal from someone, steal from Batman.
Fine. Okay. He's got money. He'll just replace it.
Yeah.
There was that, and then there was the carriage stuff, which is cool.
Yep, carriage stuff looks great.
Although is quite Red Dead.
Yeah.
Or and it leaked. I mean, like I think this whole thing would have been a lot more exciting if all of the details hadn't been on the internet last December.
Right, that's the thing, isn't it?
So I think it's not really Ubisoft's fault that it was, for me, slightly underwhelming, but I think because of, maybe it would have been anyway. Like I can just look at it and I can see how it's an evolution of previous Assassin's Creed. The den hideout thing, or not den, but like the criminal gang hideout thing. That was in Assassin's Creed.
It's also in Watch Dogs. It's a Ubisoft kind of formula. So this is the problem, right? I think you can talk about Ubisoft as a whole thing, or just the Assassin's Creed franchise. The teams working on those games must be so gigantic. It's multiple studios, so many people involved, that it's become almost a force of nature that it doesn't seem to change very much with each iteration other than the setting. And I wonder if it even can at this stage, because so there was some backlash to Unity. I think it's probably one of the worst receptions for an Assassin's Creed game we've seen.
Oh yes, there was. Yes.
And
just like,
I wonder how far into the development of Victory, as it was called then, they were at that stage. Can they even react to some of the things that people didn't like about the previous game?
I think that the introduction of a playable female character was almost certainly brought in after last summer.
That is a very fair point. So it turns out animating female characters is an expense that they can afford. This is, it looks like there are two playable characters, right? It's a brother and sister.
Jacob and Evie Fry.
That are kind of leading this rebellion against the
twins,
the rich London folk. I don't know whether they're fighting against someone. Probably Templars, right?
Again, the Templars are causing all sorts of nasty business
pop up. And we didn't actually get to see any footage of her character being played.
Nope.
But she turned up at one point and like threw a knife at someone's gun, which was pretty useful.
Yeah,
and
it sounds like similar to the Batman and Catwoman deal from Arkham City. So a lot of the most of the gameplay will be with
Batman,
Jacob,
but sometimes you'll switch to Catwoman,
and you can also control her around the open world if you want.
Okay, right. So you said most of the stuff that we saw yesterday had already been leaked, and that does take a little bit of the magic away
not
from
really
the reveal.
Ubisoft's fault, but
was there anything that we now know about Assassin's Creed that wasn't shown in either the trailer or the gameplay or the stream last night?
So there were a few things which came out from previews around the event, and that was the size of the map. London is going to be 30% larger than Paris.
Right.
These things are always pretty subjective, and I think especially with the fact that You've got roads with busy traffic now.
Sure.
The Thames itself has to be fairly wide, so like it's kind of natural that the map is going to be a little bit bigger just to fit in.
And this new, the addition of moving around, driving around in carriages probably means
so I think
would be a little bit bigger.
To go back to Batman again, this is kind of like the Arkham Knight because you've now got a drivable vehicle in the game, and obviously the map has to be that bigger as a result.
Sure. I get why we see stats like this. It doesn't really excite me as much as it used to. Open world is this big, or it'll take this many hours to complete. But
it's just enough.
Keep it coming. What else we got that wasn't shown in the stream?
Well, there's confirmation that it's not going to be. There's going to be no co-op at all, no multiplayer at all. So Unity didn't feature any PvP co-op. And
that doesn't make any sense. I know what you mean. PvP multiplayer, sure.
So there was no competitive multiplayer. It was all cooperative. And now Syndicate has taken away cooperative as well. So it's an entirely single player game.
How popular was the multiplayer in Unity?
I don't think it was that popular, and I think they realised that Assassin's Creed, like they've tried to shoehorn in multiplayer in various guises over the years, and Assassin's Creed is always been a single player game. Like if you really care about stealth, then it's better that you do it by yourself and not with 3 other guys there trampling over guards in the background.
I've always had a bit of a soft spot for the competitive side of Assassin's Creed multiplayer, but it's always been relatively niche compared to the audience for the single player.
You're in the minority.
Sure.
There.
And was there anything else that might not have been seen that came out of some of the previews? Or was that pretty much it?
The fact that the sister of the protagonist, Evie, is playable wasn't shown, and Ubisoft still haven't really confirmed that in terms of like footage and things. But it has been confirmed now. I think they're showing that off at a later date, so we'll probably see that at E3 or closer to the October launch date of the game.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, it looks like a gorgeous world that I want to walk around in. I just would like to see it be a little bit less.
You just like to climb roofs and not have to worry about there being like some Templar idiot on the next roof who you have to try and kill or stalk.
Yeah, I don't want to climb any towers and then jump into a haystack. I feel like I've done that. I've done the whole haystack.
You'll be climbing
thing.
Big Ben.
Oh God!
And jumping off onto
a haystack.
There
will be an eagle point or whatever they're called up there, won't there?
Yeah.
No. Oh no. Cool. Well, that was a brief look at Syndicate and what we think so far. If you want to, follow the progress of this game, we'll probably be talking about it because Assassin's Creed is pretty big. And yes, good. Thank you for watching.
Goodbye.
Bye. Decided to legalize cannabis. Like nowhere else, the citizens of this country can now walk the streets safely and sleep sound in their beds knowing that crime is practically consigned to the history books. Excellent. That's great.
What is happening? What is this? What is this? Where am I going? There's a pickaxe. Ah! Oh, please don't jump off there. I'm scared of heights. Ah! What?